Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This is going to be a 2v2, obviously, if you guys cannot tell, a 2v2 matchup. This is from War 3 Lovers 2v2 Season 2 Division 2, Paxa and Velatrix versus Lubber and GodFather. Do I know much about these players? Absolutely not. I am going in blind as much as you are. And well, that does make for some interesting plays. Now, um, we'll see what exactly these players will be unloading here for us as we are looking at, well, Graveyard Necropolis Crypt coming in from Eucalyptus, which means that it's most likely going to be some Crypt Fiends. What happened to the overlay? Something happened. This is a 2v2 overlay since, well, um, yeah, it's just like flickering back and forth if I try to go up to the top. But it is a 2v2 overlay instead of the standard 1v1 overlay. The standard 1v1 overlay has enough information, but since it is 2v2, well, it's a little bit harder to try and load that information, and it's no longer like changing or actually showcasing anything right there. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and close this and try to bring it back up because I do want to be able to see how much gold they have and all of that really cool information. Alright, it started to stop working halfway through. Anyways, thanks for the heads up, Midnight Paranoia. We are going to be looking at, let's take a look, Tomb of Relics, Altar of Darkness is showing up a Crypt Lord coming in from the undead player. Coming back across here, it is going to be a Blade Master. Meanwhile, coming back here, it is so far, nope, nothing being trained up out of here yet. Meanwhile, off over here, we are getting an Altar of Darkness a little bit later by Eucalyptus, perhaps waiting for that Ziggurat to come into play, and we'll see what the heroes will in fact be. It is going to be a Crypt Lord coming in from Eucalyptus and a Dreadlord coming in from GodFather. GodFather and Eucalyptus, also known as Lubber. Alright, so double Lord. It is Dreadlord, Crypt Lord going up against what is going to be a Crypt Lord and a Blade Master, as the Blade Master are now making their rounds out. There's going to be a lot of units, vampiric beetles as well, perhaps. Not 100% quite sure about that. Are we getting ghouls in from the other side? Yes, we are. So it is going to be ghouls and Crypt Fiends. The Dreadlord perhaps going to be using sleep rather effectively, as well as the units are now already making their rounds out. Units are going to be trying to engage here. Meanwhile, the Crypt Fiend getting in some damage, trying to pull back some of that aggro, as the units are just, well, going back and forth with their engagement. Null Poacher now taking a little bit of damage. That Crypt Fiend's trying to stay on Blight and just essentially get some easy damage here and be able to regenerate all of that, as the units are now engaging here. Crypt Lord now making its rounds out, double Crypt Fiend and, well, Rod of Necromancy making their uses, as both sides are, well, going in for some interesting plays. We can see that the blue here, Paxa, looking for a fast expansion camp, should be able to get that off pretty easily and quickly. Lots of skeletal minions, lots of carry-on beetles here for this fast expansion. Coming back around on the other side here, Blade Master may try to steal a little bit of experience. Is he going to be able to get the item? I don't believe so. Unable to get that item. The Dreadlord actually able to pick up the Cloak of Shadows, but he was actually able to pick up some other items there, as we now see that the Blade Master is sleeping on the job. Blade Master purposely trying to run around the back here. Where is it going to end up going? There's more carry-on beetles coming back up. Blade Master going right next to the Ghoul, and now that Ghoul could end up getting taken down. Blade Master gets a little bit of experience, takes down another Ghoul as well, as the Haunted Goldmine could get taken down here, down to 67 hit points, down to 35. Are we going to see a cancellation? No, instead we see a sleep, and the Blade Master currently sleeping on the job. Is he going to be able to get off enough damage? No, it is not. He was able to wind walk away. Units looking to engage back once more in a Rubian Tower. Perhaps going to be upgraded here. Blade Master heading off to the center, but it is a fountain of mana instead of a fountain of health. Blade Master is using up a healing salve, though will be able to regenerate quite a bit of hit points and mana, being able to come back in with a good amount of mana for windwalks and harassment. Meanwhile, Necropolis currently coming into play as well. Haunted Goldmine will be mining up here in just a moment, as the Blade Master is still wandering back and forth. Alright, Dreadlord on the move. Ghoul's going to go ahead and shift on out as well, as the Crypt Lord is still wandering. Well, a lot of pausing. Sorry about that. Nothing that I can really do. As the Blade Master now going after those Crypt Fiends off to the side. We still don't see Web as of yet. Blade Master dealing quite a bit of damage. Blade Master doing quite a bit of damage, or at least harassing quite a bit, as this Blade Master from Velatrix is doing such a great job just constantly harassing. Blade Master still getting in some nice shots in there once more. Crypt Lord trying to get experience and just unable to do so. And really, Velatrix is just shutting down much of the creeping that the Crypt Lord is hoping to doing. You can see there is such a large army there, but the Blade Master has been stealing experience left and right for just so long. Meanwhile, this Crypt Lord off to the side here, he's himself set up to level 3 already. Should be able to get some level 2 carry-on beetles out here in just a moment, as both sides are running up on 3 bases. Alright, Forest Troll Shadow Priest is still in the back line doing quite a bit of healing. Carry-on beetles unable to really engage, and we should be getting the level 2 variety of beetles here in just a moment, as some of the beetles are making their ways out to try and do a bit of harassment. Ghoul is about to get taken down. Well, no, very good micro coming so far from the Crypt Lord player here. And Paxa making sure to not actually lose those ghouls, as those ghouls are now heading back home. Coming back across Dreadlord, well, losing a couple of ghouls as well, and Velatrix has just been doing a consistent job maximizing and just trying to just make it difficult for his opponent, as we're looking at the Dreadlord now hanging over by this fountain of mana. He does have a Cloak of Shadows. He is able to Shadow Meld and hide right there. Meanwhile, I believe there's a call to try and perhaps set up this expansion off over here. Alright, Dreadlord gonna make its way over. He does have sleep. He has a little bit of mana, but things could go sideways for him very quick. I haven't seen any carry on swarms as of yet, as we're looking at the Dreadlord here going after the Null Warden, as the main portion of the army now ready to engage back. We should be looking at tier 2. Are we getting up a slaughterhouse? No, graveyard. Tier 2 not yet done, as the Crypt Lord now making its way over, and there is a ritual dagger to try and get a little bit of healing across all of these units here. Level 3 on the Crypt Lord of Eucalyptus finally, as we see healing being used, but that was actually just horribly done. You can see that there are a number of low hit point Crypt Fiends, and why sacrifice a beetle but not have it next to everything else in order to try and heal? Carry-on Swarm ripping through right there, a lot of damage being done. Acolytes now being shifted, wanting to make sure that they are back up to full hit points, but they should not actually leave, as we're going to look at all the Acolytes, we being able to at least regenerate those hit points there. Second carry-on Swarm ripping through, not dealing or not finishing off any units. There's the Dust of Appearance, as the Acolytes now look to back up. There was a quick hex onto the Dreadlord, or Dreadlord trying to get away. Death Coil saves there, as the Dreadlord now hanging around. There is carry-on Swarm, and oh, the Blade Master could take a lot of damage. Is it going to try and back away? Yes, it will, as all of the units are taking so much damage there. There's that Scroll of Town portal, a little bit of an unfavorable position, as the units are now going to try and retreat back to the other side once more. Alright, Carry-on Swarm could try and rip through more and more of those units. However, the Dreadlord should really be staying close, trying to get more and more mana if it wants to do this harassment straight up in the center. We are looking to set up an expansion over here by GodFather at the 8 o'clock position as well. Things are, well, rather strange in this opening so far. We are looking at level 4, level 1 and Death Knight now making its rounds out across here. There we go. There's that level 1 and Death Knight. There's that Crypt Lord. What did they get from that Dragon Camp? Let's take a look. Potion, Belt of Giant Strength. It looks like that Crypt Lord doing a little bit of extra damage. Meanwhile, that Blade Master still wandering through again, as the Dreadlord needs to back away. These ghouls are not going to be able to stick around for very long, as the Shadow Hunter gets to level 2. Alright, Sleep coming back across, trying to get some damage off onto all of these units. A second ghoul will be lost as well, but because of the number of units out on the field, well, not that, or heroes out on the field, not going to be able to give that much experience. Alright, this 2v2 matchup here on Nullwood. Nullwood normally feels like a very large map, but because of the number of players, it really has shrunken quite a bit. Crypt Lord now going to make its way out to try to perhaps finish off this Rock Golem creep camp. Creeps are incredibly important on this map. Limited resources in terms of experience, and if you have a level advantage going into a fight, well, hero nuking, burst damage, and then just stronger summons are all available. Carrion Beetle will be scouting out this necropolis off over here. Are they going to try and Scroll of Town Portal to save it? That is the question, as the units are now making their rounds out. Alright, large army incoming, Blade Master, Shadowhunter, Death Knight, getting ready to engage here. Meanwhile, the units are going to, perhaps get a surround onto that Obsidian statue. No, not able to get off a 12-unit surround as the Obsidian statue slips through those units. Impale coming across. A couple of ghouls could be left behind. Sleep coming back across. Ensnare number 1. Ensnare number 2 could be getting underway, trying to get some damage there as those Carrion Swarm now ripping back once again. Alright, level 3 on that Dreadlord. We're going to see a couple of coils, and now in comes the engagement. Well, there goes that Impale, picking up many of those units. Carrion Swarm going back to the other side, coupled with Impale, and trying to add up that damage, but that damage didn't seem nearly as high as I thought it would be, as we're still looking at the fights engaging here. Alright, Obsidian statues, there goes another Impale, more Impale, Carrion Swarm eating through another Scroll of Healing, trying to counteract, as the Scrolls of Healing are incredibly important with the amount of AoE damage that we've been seeing with Carrion Swarm and Impale. Alright, the heroes are just always in a position to try and get in more damage across to the other side here, as the ghouls are now trying to surround that Shadowhunter. Shadowhunter does have a potion of lesser invulnerability and will be able to head back, break free. Meanwhile, Death Knight gets taken down at level 2, as the Death Knight of the blue army is still alive and well. Scroll of Town Portal, Eucalyptus not liking what he's seeing at all, gonna go ahead and try and retreat and be able to do exactly that. Dreadlord Lich, we are looking at major hero nuking potential coming in from GodFather and Eucalyptus. A Lich being added in the combination of the Death Knight and that, well, the Crypt Lord. So all 4 undead heroes are currently out in play. Dreadlord with that Carrion Swarm, Impale from the Crypt Lord, Frost Nova, and Death Coil from the Lich and the Death Knight. Alright, strong unit use is all across the board here, as the Acolyte just played run around the haunted gold mine in order to try and get away. We are looking at a Nerubian tower not yet quite done, as the Carrion Beetles gonna really be able to finish things up here rather easily. Ghouls are now trying to head back as well, knowing that this expansion is not going to be sticking around for very long. Alright, couple of ghouls taking down their Velatrix and Paxa finishing things off easily here, as this expansion is going to end up getting shut down. Alright, 3 bases versus 3 bases on all sides here, trying to make sure that none of the additional expansions are being used either. Meanwhile, well, the Granite Golem off to the side is getting in a little bit of engagement, as the Destroyer will unsure of what to do, since it cannot deal any damage to these units. Alright, Granite Golem, well, down to negative armor. There it goes. Big level up across the board. Mana Burn, Spiked Collar. Lich getting ready to move off. Crypt sitting at level 4 with already 9 armor. And that is without the spiked armor that normally sits on, well, that particular Crypt Lord. Alright, let's take a look. Crypt Fiend getting ready to move on out. We are seeing Spirit Link as well. That will be easily devoured as well. We are looking at Nerubian Tower and Spirit Tower getting ready to engage. Is Spike Collar a good drop? Normally, not normally. You normally want some of the other items. Thank you for the follow, as the units are now going to be, well, retreating back. There is the Scroll of Town Portal coming in from behind. GodFather's army actually going, reminding me of sides. It is going to be Necromancers and Meat Wagons. However, the Destroyers are going to have their field day with that Devour magic, if the Necromancers are just raising undead constantly. Units are now going to be making or move out across the field. We are looking at an expansion coming in from GodFather, as well as the units are now making their ways across. Alright, here we go. Units up in the air. Obsidian statue now trying to back away. Crypt Fiends could try and web down that Destroyer pretty quickly. Is that going to work? There we go. And there is that Necromancer army in the back. There's a couple of quick webs down. Are the Crypt Fiends just going to get absolutely destroyed? And there we go, trying to save that with a Death Coil, but more and more damage getting absorbed once again. Alright, there goes one Destroyer. Meat Wagons now joining in on the fight, and this fight is just absolutely perfect for GodFather and Eucalyptus. This concave positioning, able to use more range units. More range units are attacking as well, and all of a sudden these units need to back away. This was not a very favorable fight for them whatsoever, as they will all be backing up. There they go, retreating. All right, the red army of Eucalyptus and Eucalyptus and Godfather are just controlling the pacing of this match right now. And that was a major battle. Coming across on the other side, though, a couple of watchtowers will be placed down. Velatrix wanting to take the economic advantage off on the other side here. Meanwhile, this expansion could end up getting destroyed before it is properly set up. Now being forced to unsummon all of these buildings here. Perhaps should be unsummoning these ziggurats as well, as the units are backing up again. All right, easy skeletal minions going to be dealing quite a bit of damage back across over here. Carry on beetles. Godfather's expansion will get taken down, and we should be looking at a couple of, well, a watchtower is able to finish off the job once more. All right, I don't know why these buildings from Godfather were not canceled. Perhaps he wants to be able to set up an expansion a little bit later, but then why unsummon the necropolis, as we now see the haunted gold mine in the center here getting completely exposed and could end up easily getting destroyed. 3 meat wagons launching those attacks pretty easily, and it looks like this will get taken down without much of an issue. There it goes. There's a carry-on swarm moving on through. Little bit of damage being absorbed by those acolytes as they need to back up again. Hey, New, how you doing? As as the Crypt Lord now looking to engage again. All right. Obsidian statues, major large army coming in from the red side once more. An expansion being placed down by the teal army of Velatrix, as in comes another battle here. It looks like it's going to be favorable for red army once again. No, it's going to be, well, flanked in from both sides, so this is actually a better spot than the previous battle. The Death Knight has been taken down, though, and things are just going from bad to worse. We're still looking for a big fight once again, as the Death Knight uses a potion of lesser vulnerability on the backside. All right, the Orc army with no real way to disenchant except for one Spirit Walker, as the Skeletal Mage is still dealing all of that damage here. Meanwhile, fighting on Blight, the blue army, Paxa, trying to fight on Blight while using a little bit of that home field advantage, but the Spirit Towers also under a bit of distress as the meat wagons are able to attack over the tree line. There goes an Impale, level 5 now on that Crypt Lord. More damage coming through once again as the units are going to try to engage and fight once more. Healing Wave bouncing around. Shadow Hunter is fighting here, and the blue army sitting at 62 supply, but somehow it still looks much smaller. Not quite sure where the rest of the units are, as the Crypt Fiends are still engaging once more. All right, still fighting their way through. Skeletal minions making their way through the tree lines again, as the blue and teal army are starting to push back. Obsidian statue about to get taken down. There it goes. More units could end up falling as well, continuing to fight back the other way. Skeletal minions and mages are just falling pretty easily here, as all of these units will be, well, falling back down onto the ground here in just a second. All right, fighting next to the Fountain of Mana, the Obsidian statues. Do the Destroyers actually get mana from this Fountain of Mana? They do not able to hold it enough, as the units are going to be engaging here in just a moment. All right, there comes the battle. The Fountain of Health, Fountain of Mana, with the Obsidian statues acting as fountains of health, trying to keep everyone alive and well. But fighting with the back to that fountain is going to give a major mana advantage to the undead double army, as we are looking at the Necromancers also falling down as well. 2 Obsidian statues trying to provide as much as they can. Destroyers getting up into the air. In comes the damage here. Destroyers trying to devour as much magic of all of those skeletal minions. Carry-on swarm ripping through as well, as Godfather, well, is bouncing all back around. Lich going to get taken down. There you go. Godfather able to eat through many of these units as he's diving in very deep, as we are looking at, well, perhaps a Death Knight about to get taken down. There he goes to sleep just a split second late. All right, Death Knight now taken down as well. Lich has fallen at level 3, and this is absolute destruction for everyone involved. Everyone seems to be losing heroes. Level 3 Lich fallen. Crypt Lord going to get taken down here at level 5. No, Scroll of Town Portal used in time. Death Knight looking to get away. He's playing a little bit game of a dance and able to teleport out in time. This Shadow Hunter, what is it doing? The Shadow Hunter sticking around in this fight for a little bit too long. He's going to be able to get away. Meanwhile, Blade Master wandering around does have a potion of mana. The Destroyers going after the Spirit Walkers. Easy damage onto that Spirit Walker. There's a quick Impale, and death comes quickly. Destroyers 3-2 upgrades on the destroyers. Crypt Fiends also sharing that 3-2 upgrade, obviously. Meanwhile, well, Peons mining away. Velatrix getting a little bit of a boost in his economy. It is now 4 gold mines to 4 gold mines, as the main gold mines still have about 5 or 6 minutes of mining left. Healing Wave bouncing around. Cryptlord could try and get a kill onto that one Dreadlord. Dreadlord gets taken down. A quick hex, and all of a sudden everything goes sideways as the Death Knight could try and Death Coil to save that Cryptlord. Cryptlord could be in a little bit of trouble. Units are all trying to retreat back again, as there goes some skeletal minions trying to, well, fight once more. All right, I take it back. This gold mine is not mining, so it is actually only 4 gold mines versus 3. This gold mine actually very much exposed as the Blade Master trying to fight in this spot here. A couple of Crypt Fiends pick back up. Engagement coming back the other side here. This Cryptlord out of mana. Death Knight needs to find a way to keep all of these units alive. Shadowhunter taking a lot more damage than he would like, as the Blade Master is crippled and being forced to retreat back as well. All right, Death Knight, are they going to be able to, well, retreat back enough, as that Death Knight is down to 59 hit points. Shadowhunter has no mana, unable to keep these units alive here, as the Obsidian statue needs to bring off and get some heals, well, quickly. All right, no mining going on whatsoever. Skeletal minions and all of these burrowed units making their way back. Couple of burrowed Crypt Fiends hiding in the middle of the field right now. Full saturation on this gold mine at this starting location. No mining happening over here to the top right, as GodFather wants to set up an expansion and, well, claim economic dominance here on Nullwood. All right, skeletal minions absolutely free to, well, come in here and deal damage onto these watchtowers. 43 supply coming in from, well, the Orc army, and 62 coming in from the Undead army of blue. Meanwhile, supply, well, can't quite keep track of all of that here. All right, so far, Fountains of Mana gonna go ahead and fill up that Crypt Lord once again, maxed out on mana. Death Knight could easily start trying to Death Coil some of these remaining units, as the Obsidian statue needs quite a bit of mana as well. Obsidian statue is out of mana. It looks like he's not actually being affected by that Fountain of Mana. So what, mechanical units are not affected by fountains? That would make sense. All right, as mechanical units do not benefit from do not benefit from a fountain of health, so maybe fountains of mana do not benefit mechanical units too. Why is there a red building marker? Because that is a bug. I've asked Blizzard why it and they haven't, and why that was still there, and they were not aware of that bug. So I've told I think I told one of the leads at, or one of the game developer managers at WarCraft, at Blizzard, about it, and they said that they would be looking into it. Blade Master going to go ahead and finish off an Acolyte there. Acolyte going to go ahead and get taken down again, as Velatrix perhaps going to be able to finish off a couple of these Ziggurats here, really trying to make sure that this expansion is not mining away. Meanwhile, the blue army now coming across, level 6 on that Crypt Lord, level 6 on this Blade Master as well. Why is the Blade Master actually leaving from the fight here, as the Crypt Lord is sitting at level 6 here? Raider's going to be joining in, and here we go. Blue actually is starting to look to perhaps be re-establishing themselves as well. See, no buildings and a whole bunch of things on the mini-map, making it even more difficult to try and keep track of what's going on in the game. All right, Necropolis going to get taken down here. Haunted gold mines, well, gonna no longer be haunted. We're looking at one base mining going up against 2 bases mining, but the main bases should be done here in just a second. This gold mine has not been mined for quite some time, so that's going to be difficult to hold on to, as the Necromancers, Destroyers, and, well, GodFather's meat wagons ready to go. They have a lot in the belly of those meat wagons, as they're going to be engaging here in just a second. All right, here we go. Major damage coming back across. Meanwhile, they are going to be exposed in the back, but does it matter? Is the base going to get destroyed first? That's what it appears like, as the army is now making their way through. All right, Obsidian statue in the back line here. Blade Master going to go straight after. There is a bunch of units. Scroll of Town Portal already being used, and Disenchant trying to take down all of those units there. Scroll of Town Portal coming back across here as well, as there they go. All of the beetles are buried. All 5 beetles right here buried, as perhaps as soon as the base is trying to be built, Velatrix is going to realize, wait, what's going on here? I can't actually mine, so Dust of Appearance could be used. Well, trying to disenchant. However, not quite knowing where those units are. There's more disenchants. Well, trying to get them off, but still unable to do so. Needs Dust of Appearance more than anything. As the burrowed carrion beetles, as well, there goes one. Is it going to be enough? Still unable to do so, or is this beetle out of range here? Well, it looks like it still could be right at the corner, causing a bit of problems. He's trying to disenchant, but the beetles are just causing problems. And you can see right there, even if this beetle is disenchanted, the remaining 3 burrows could perhaps unburrow and then cause problems. There is that Dust of Appearance, and well, there goes a whole bunch of experience right there. Alright, Dreadlord sitting at level 5. Meat wagons are all here, ready once more. Yep, roaches, beetle infestation, so difficult to get rid of. An expansion trying to be established off to the side, but a swarm of ghouls making their way in as well. We're looking at this expansion. It will end up getting taken down. Perhaps canceling this ziggurat would be prudent, as the units are going to be engaging here in just a moment. Alright, fighting in a bad corridor. This is what happened in that very first battle. The blue army fought in a place that was not really beneficial to them, but they now are bringing in some more range units as well. Locust Swarm now being used as well. I don't know whose side is using it, but it looks like it is the red side right now. I don't know, it is the blue side using it. Currently, you can see that all of those, well, blue and blue locusts just eating around. All right, red being forced to retreat back out of here. There you go. Now red also being forced to retreat back. Both sides being forced to retreat, not in a favorable spot at all. Blademaster, Raiders, are they going to perhaps take down one of this? Yep, take down a Raider. The skeletal minions doing a good job shutting down a couple of those units once more and actually dealing some true damage. Alright, another expansion being built off over here. Godfather, the red side, trying to build up and has haunted this gold mine already. It needs to get taken out. Blue and teal need to finish that off. Perhaps this haunted gold mine in the center will get taken down. Probably not. No meat wagons, only raiders for their siege damage, making it difficult to try and shut that down. Alright, Eucalyptus looking to set up this expansion here in the center portion as well. Teal is running low on gold, unable to hold on to those expansions early on, and that is unfortunate for them. So far, though, Acolytes should be able to start mining from here in just a second, but blue is losing in the gold race. 2 bases, 2 fully operational bases compared to only, well, 0 right now, as this haunted gold mine is still not yet up and running. Those skeletal mages and skeletal minions will be making their way through the trees here in just a moment, and then perhaps causing a little bit of damage once more. Meanwhile, back across over here, these acolytes are going to end up falling. But trading expansions when you are down an expansion is not going to work out all too well. These 2 gold mines from Godfather and Eucalyptus able to give them that economic advantage. They know that they do not need to pick a fight as of yet. They can choose when and where they want to fight, as opposed to Godfather and Paxa and Velatrix, who need to put on the pressure now. Otherwise, they will just fall further and further behind. Alright, where are these units going next? You can see all of the acolytes being forced to retreat back, and this is just going to go from bad to worse for the undead orc team. Blademaster sitting at level 6, Shadowhunter sitting at level 5. Even level 6 heroes is not going to be enough to really do the necessary damage, as we're looking at rather large armies on both sides everywhere. Blademaster perhaps going to be trying to retreat back again. You can take a look. Carrion Swarm ripping through. All the acolytes being forced to pull back again, as the meat wagons could just destroy that haunted gold mine and set things up once more. Alright, Dreadlord not close enough to that Fountain of Mana. We're looking at the units perhaps trying to go in for one last battle. Blademaster coming back across over here, perhaps going to try and take down some of these acolytes. Is going to be able to do exactly that. Windwalk strike, blade, and no critical strikes as of yet, as the battle is going to be raging in here. Alright, Eucalyptus and Godfather or Lubber, all ready to go with a very big damage. In come a couple of webs here. Are the destroyers going to be able to devour magic? In come a couple of devour magics as well, as they're trying to finish off many of those units. All right, Infernal coming down, stunning across many of those back units, as well as an Impale also coming in. Blade Master coming in with Bladestorm at the very back, trying to destroy all of those units in the back line, dealing a large amount of damage, and will really finishing off many of those units here. All right, damage being picked up back and forth. Blade Master now sitting at level 7. Carrion Swarm, or Locust Swarm, being used by both sides. Infernal could be using, Dreadlord could be using more Carrion Swarm, trying to finish off the rest of the blue army. As you can see, the red army is right there. Death Knight sitting at, or falls at level 4. As the Crypt Lord still sitting at, or getting up to level 7. Lich is still alive right now, but is it going to be able to do any real damage? Shadowhunter, Velatrix now trying to back away. Scroll of Town Portal, is it going to be used? Yes, it will. Blade Master now looking to finish off a couple of the Obsidian, or the meat wagons in the back, but that still may not be enough. 15 supply for the blue army here, and only 2 for teal orc army. More heals being used once again, as the Lich and the Crypt Lord are going to go ahead and back away. Man, this game absolutely, one bad fight early on causing problems for Velatrix and Paxa, and it doesn't look like they ever really recovered after fighting in this narrow battlefield here. Only a handful of their units were able to attack, while their opponent had a very strong semicircle off on the other side, able to just fight into that choke point with range without problem. Meanwhile, what's going to end up happening? In comes some more meat wagons. There goes up an Impale on the Crypt Lord. Shadowhunter shows up to the party. The healing wave to try and keep all of these units alive, as the Destroyer now trying to back away once more. Units are still trying to head back. Destroyers just devouring and destroying everything here. Lich going to get taken down. There it goes. And this is going to be the end of the game here. Lich pretty much sacrificed for no reason whatsoever. More Impales being used, but not much is going to happen. And, well, death, it looked like healing wave, but still not going to be enough. Shadowhunter actually blocking the path here as it gets taken down. Level 7 Dreadlord. 5 Lich, this Shadowhunter about to get taken down, and there is the GG. Well played. Eucalyptus and Godfather, or Lubber, taking this game here on Knollwood. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.